Hello, we have some news today from Ardnamurchan in the Western Highlands of Scotland. Now, this particular find has already been shown on the Archaeoscoop Facebook page a couple of days ago, and you may well have heard of it if you pay attention to the BBC, etc. But I thought I would make an Archaeoscoop about it, just because it is a worthwhile find to highlight to those people who may not have come across it yet. It is the finding of a high-status Viking warrior for the first time intact in mainland Britain. It should be pointed out that intact boat burials have been found in places like the Orkneys, and let's not forget a Saxon burial, obviously a very famous one being Sutton Hoo, and there's also a hint of another one being located in Yorkshire, but that's apparently top secret, so we won't go into that. However, this particular burial represents the culmination of a 6 or 7 year project which has been underway from various universities, from Manchester, Leicester, Newcastle and Glasgow. And the burial itself contains obviously a man, an axe, a finely crafted sword, spear, shield and a bronze ring pin. It's also interesting because all of these objects, to a certain extent, give you a sense of who he was, but also possibly actually the places with which he had a connection. For example, he had a knife that was buried with and a drinking horn, but the whetstone that he used to sharpen his knife came from Norway, and the bronze ring pin that he was buried with came from Ireland. So this guy had connections essentially across the Norse world, and it probably was either a powerful guy to bring those different trade networks together to himself, or simply travelled. Who knows? And indeed, we may even find out. The burial is dated to around about the 10th century AD, and it'll be fascinating to hear more about this as it unfolds. It could even potentially be a game changer, as it were, in terms of how people view the Viking world in Northern Europe. It's also actually going to be very interesting to see how this find is incorporated into broader histories. Will it, for example, be seen as a Scottish find, a British find, or will it be seen actually as potentially a Norwegian or even an Irish find? In the past, for example, there have been silver hoards found in North Yorkshire, which the government in Norway have taken a great interest in, convinced that somehow they have a right to it. It really, this has the potential to become a bit of a political hot potato, in as much as to what extent can we show that this guy has any connection with these nations? My answer is he doesn't. But I'm sure lots of modern politicians would like to argue otherwise. So it'd be very interesting to see if this story develops along those lines as well. But nonetheless, a very exciting find for that part of Scotland, and I look forward to hearing more about it. If you'd like to read more about this story, and indeed there's a small video on the article as well, if you haven't already, just pop to the link below. Thank you very much.